Hello, friends. I am Leah Slayton, and I am the Executive Director at Well of Mercy Retreat Center. And this is the very first of our Well Wednesdays during the season of Advent. And on each Wednesday during this season, we will post a short devotional that we hope will just bring a moment of peace to your day and maybe make this season even a little more special. And so today I want to talk about waiting, because it is the season of waiting and practicing. And on the day after Thanksgiving, the director of a food bank and a theology professor were having a discussion. And the director said, it really bothers me every year that so many people show up and want to help needy people during the Christmas season, but they completely disappear for the rest of the year. And the teacher replied, well, if they never help the first time, then they'll never help the second time. We need those first times to rehearse for a better day. And Advent is the season when we all rehearse for a better day. And I know that in general, people really don't like to practice or rehearse. We would much rather just have that end result. We want it to be good. We want it to be right now. But Advent says that it's not always the fulfillment of the promise that drives us, but it's the preparation and it's the practice. Life is our preparation and our practice for God's reign. So does our rehearsal reflect what God wants it to be on opening night? Do we live constantly searching for God's cues to us? And can we imagine God's promises of justice and mercy and peace on earth, goodwill to all? Because if so, we have options. If we can imagine the promises of justice, then we can rehearse them and we can live justly. If we can imagine the promises of mercy, then we can rehearse them and live mercifully. If we can imagine the promises of love, we can rehearse them and live lovingly. If we can imagine the promises, we can live knowing that a better day is coming and that our world never has the last word. We can live in anticipation and in hopeful cooperation with all of God's promises. And it's like, I used to have a cat named Bert. And Bert followed me into the kitchen one morning, as was his custom, and I was going through my usual morning routine, preparing my cup of coffee. But on this morning, with Bert winding around my feet, something rare and unexpected happened. I spilled cream on the floor. Manna from heaven from a cat's point of view. And Bert pounced. He lapped that cream right up, purring so loudly he was just beside himself. And from that moment on, Bert approached my coffee ritual with his eyes lifted, his imagination in overdrive. He was anticipating something delicious falling out of the air. So he was up when I was up. He was there every morning. If I paid him no attention, he meowed at me until he got my attention. He purred his way through every sunrise, knowing that if cream rained down from the sky on one day, it could certainly happen again. And he was ready. He lived each morning as if that promise of cream was real. Eyes lifted, anticipating something delicious. And friends, that's Advent. Eyes lifted, anticipating something delicious. And my prayer for you is that this will be a season of hope and all kinds of sacred, delicious moments. Hope to see you soon at Well of Mercy.